You're welcome inside the lifestyle and leisure area here at the Mallow Garden Festival. This is Deirdre Doyle. Hi Deirdre, how are you?
Hi Colin, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Weather's fantastic. We're expecting a huge weekend. Tell me, what's a cool food school though?
What's a cool food school? Well, we're all about making food cool for kids. So my goal is to make food fun for kids so that they enjoy eating it rather than forcing them to eat it, if you know what I mean.
The eternal battle between parents and child, you have to eat that is good for you.
Yeah. Whereas my whole goal is to get the kids coming home and saying, Mum, can I have a tomato?
Well, does that happen at your house?
Yeah, well, sorry, the kids I teach it happens to.
Yeah.
My own kids, they get left behind, because it's like the cobbler and with the kids have no shoes.
Yeah, exactly. The carpenter who can't fix his own place.
Yeah, exactly. I know. My kids they don't all cook, but two of them are
okay,
good
cooks.
Cooks. Yeah.
So where did the whole idea come from day one?
Day one, well, I do have a bit of a background in the food industry, so I have a degree in hotel and catering management from GMIT back in the last century.
Yeah, same century as me. Okay.
Same century, yeah. And when I had my own kids then, and I started to see the food environment around my kids, I was like, this is rubbish.
Yeah.
Like you go to a restaurant and you're only offered 6 alternatives, like sausage and chips, burger and chips, pizza. You go in the food aisles and all the kids' food is like full of sugar, full of salt.
All the coloured processed stuff.
Yeah. All really, really heavily processed. And then people are saying, oh, no, you can't give that to kids. The kids need to eat this food. So I'm like, no. Kids just eat food like anybody else.
Yeah.
So that's why. And then I went and I retrained as a health coach in the Irish Institute of Nutrition and Health.
Great.
And after that, that's when I set up my business. So my goal has always been to teach kids about food. And I quickly realised, I trialled out my workshops. So basically, I go into schools and I teach interactive workshops with kids. So it's based on cooking, but it's all very actually sensory food education.
Okay.
So the first time I trialled them in a preschool, and I thought they're going to sit down and they're going to listen and they're going to take notes, and then I quickly learned that it had to be fun for the kids.
You got a land, did you?
I did get a land. After about the first 1 or 2 trials, I'm like, oh, okay, no, I need to make it fun. Yeah. So I've started making it much more fun, and I have characters, and and it's all about squashing the food, spitting the food out. I'm going to be doing workshops here later on, so you get a kind of a sense of what I do.
Sure.
We'll be cutting open tomatoes, and I make the kids so excited about cutting open a tomato.
Because the guts spill out, is that it?
Well, because I try and get them to imagine what colour it is on the inside.
Okay, brilliant. Okay.
So, and they'll all be going, oh, because I have different coloured tomatoes as well.
Sure.
And they'll all be going, oh, it's yellow, it's blue, it's green. And I'll be, no, it's blue, it's blue, it's blue. I get them to shout it out. So it's all and getting them really involved in it and getting them really excited about it. And it's easy for parents to do that then at home, and they can bring that home and say, oh, I wonder what colour this tomato is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be tomatoes, it can be any food, and get them excited and curious about food.
Specifically this weekend, you're giving your talks at, I think it's 1:30 and 3 on each of the 3 days.
Yeah.
So what happens there? What sort of info are you giving out?
I'm doing interactive kids workshops.
Brilliant, okay.
So bring the kids along, I'd love to have them. And I will be doing my little workshops that I do in schools, and I do them at events all over the country. I'll be at Bloom next weekend. I was down Ballymaloo 2 weekends ago. So the kids will be making a tomato bruschetta.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So we'll start with the whole tomato exploration and then leading into making a tomato bruschetta, but the whole focus is on the tomatoes and getting them to engage with the tomatoes. Yeah.
So talk to me about your offering here. You went on and you created a cookbook as well.
Yeah, I wrote a cookbook over lockdown. Sure, what else I should be doing?
Exactly, yeah. Well, that's what we all do. Isn't everything before or after COVID?
I know,
So
BC.
you used your time productively and you wrote a cookbook.
Yeah, well, I just happened to luckily have already been approached by O'Brien Press to write a cookbook prior to lockdown. So in some ways lockdown was great because I was able to I did a lot of online cooking with kids over lockdown, so I was able to trial the recipes with kids online and really nail down the recipes that I wanted to include in the book, because the book is kind of geared at kids from age 6 to about 11. But in fairness, a lot of the recipes can be done by younger kids. It's just a reading age of 6, if you know what I mean, for them to do them independently. So some of the recipes are very, very simple. It's literally, I have I have one called Fruit Surprise. So it's basically you put something in the bottom of a bowl and then chop up loads of fruit and put the fruit on top. And then the surprise is what's on the bottom, like some chocolate chips or something like
fantastic.
that.
So you get to the treat part.
Yeah.
Or is your goal to make the whole lot the treat then?
Well, the whole lot is the treat, yeah. Like, it doesn't have to be chocolate. It could be anything. It could be a coin. It could be whatever. Yeah. But it's just to make it fun, you know. Yeah. And then the kids will chop up the fruit. So that's all part of the. But that's like as simple as a recipe can be, you know.
Sure.
And then there are more difficult recipes, obviously, and there's a few dinners in it, but I didn't really put a big focus on dinners because I think kids of that age don't really make a dinner from scratch, you know?
Yeah.
But there's loads of snack things and loads of like lunch boxes. From August onwards, I'll be going on and on my social media about getting
back to school lunches, yeah.
Back to school, but getting the kids to make their own school lunches.
Okay.
There is no reason why any child should not be making their school lunch.
I remember when I was a kid going to school with the sandwiches wrapped in the sliced pan wrapper. I mean, but sure, that's the generational gap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Before we go, Deirdre, will you talk to me about these safety products you have here in the front? Because I'm very keen on these.
These are reusable sandwich bags, so you don't need the Brennan's bread wrapper anymore.
Okay, so would you go back 25, 30 years to when I was getting them? So,
Colin, these are my bestseller. So I bought these originally when I saw them online because they're a safe knife and a safe peeler, and I use them in my workshops all the time.
So there's no edge here then, is there?
There's no edge.
Safe enough
no, it's really safe. So,
and of course that's what everybody does, tests to see how safe it is.
Yeah. And I do a whole thing with the kids as well to get them to test it. And the peeler is bladeless. So I originally went down a rabbit hole on the internet one night and discovered these. I import them from Australia. And I was like, oh my God, they're amazing. Bought them in and started using them in my workshops. But then parents were asking me for them. Could they buy them? Yeah. So I've sold about 25,000 of them so far. Yeah, 25,000 units of them.
Brilliant.
Yeah, because parents love them and kids love them.
Yeah.
So they are my absolute bestseller, and they're a great companion product to go with the book for a whole cooking set, and they are €23.
Yes, okay. And where can people get them? You've got a huge online presence, so people find you here all weekend, but online, where are you?
I'm at www.thecoolfoodschool.ie, or I'm on Instagram at thecoolfoodschool.
Okay, and people can see here all weekend. They can call over, look for
all
advice,
weekend.
Go to your talks, 1:30 and 3:30 every day.
Yeah. Come on over. I love chatting to people, as you can see.
and bring the children as well. Most importantly.
Yeah, bring the kids. Yeah, so I love working with kids from about age 3 upwards. I even do transition year students.
Wow, for your sins. Fair play. All right, Deirdre, thanks a million.
Thank you so much, Colin.
Enjoy the weekend. That's Deirdre of the Cool Food School here at the Mallow Garden Show.